In this video, we're going to create a modern photo slideshow animation inside of DaVinci Resolve without using any plugin. This video is going to be very easy, very simple, even for absolute beginners. I'm going to use the fundamental tools of DaVinci Resolve Fusion and create a stunning motion graphics. You can use this motion graphics technique to create modern photo slideshow animation, YouTube intro, video effect, and many more. Hey guys, this is Vikas from Skyline Motions, and without any further ado, let's open DaVinci Resolve and get started. Alright, so before we get started, we have to do some basic settings. So click on the setting button in the corner, set the size of this project 1920 by 1080, select a frame rate. So in this case, I am using 60 frames per second for smooth animation. Set the playback frame rate 24 frames per second for faster render preview and click on save. Now we have to create this animation inside of this Fusion page. So we have to take a new Fusion composition first, which is very important. So just go to the media pool, right click on that, click on new Fusion composition. Let's call it Fusion. Duration make it 5 seconds long, frame rate 60, and click on create. Now let's drag and drop the Fusion composition on the timeline just like that, and then go to the Fusion page. And here we have the media out node, so just drag this media out to the side for now. And for this animation we need only one viewer, so click on the single viewer and make it single. After that we need to import any image or video file for this animation, so just go to this media pool, right click on that, click on import media, and here we have to select any image or video file. So in this case I am using this image that I have downloaded from pixels.com, and I will give you a link in the description. But you can select any image that you like, or you can also select any video file instead of the image and click on open. Now let's drag and drop this media file on this flow window just like that. You can close the media pool now, and let's rename this media in node and call it media. So just right click on this node and click on rename, or you can also hit F2 on the keyboard to rename and call it media. Hit enter. Now let's drag and drop the media node into the viewer. Now we have to fit this image according to the project size, which is 1920 by 1080. So it's very simple. We have to take a new background node. So this is the background button. Let's drag and drop the background node on this flow window. You can call it matte. Now let's take a new merge node. So this is the merge button. Let's drag and drop on this flow window, and inside of this merge node we have 4 different points. So the yellow point is for background, green is for foreground, and this is the output, and this is the effect mask. So I'm going to use this matte as a background and media as a foreground. So connect the yellow background point with this matte and green foreground point with this media, and let's drag this merge one to the viewer. Click on fit button, and as you can see we have the perfect 1920 by 1080 proportion. Now we have to fit this image inside of this frame. So it's very simple. Just select the media node, add a transform with this. This transform is going to be the controller of this image. So hit F2 on the keyboard to rename, call it controller. Hit OK. By using this controller node, you can control the image. So I want to fit this image inside of this frame. So let's increase the size a little bit. Set the image in the center, just like that. Perfect. And now we have to animate the image. So select the merge one, add a transform node just after this merge one, and this transform is going to be the animation. So let's call it animation. Now select the animation node, go to the end of this animation, right click on size, click on animate, go to very first frame of this animation. Let's increase the scale value. So I'm going to set the value 1.2, and now we will get this type of smooth zoom out animation. Perfect. This is the main output, and now we have to create another output. So it's very simple. Let's take a color corrector node on this flow window. Attach this output with the color corrector, drag this color corrector to the viewer, select the color corrector and set the saturation value 0 and make it black and white. After that, we need to attach a blur effect just after this color corrector node. So select the color corrector node, hit Ctrl plus a space bar for search box and search for blur. So I'm going to use the directional blur effect. Select the directional blur, hit add button, drag this directional blur to the viewer. Select this node and go to the inspector window, and here let's increase the blur length value. So set the value 0.03, which is looking perfect. Now we need to create animated shapes. So what we have to do, let's take a new background node, and this background node is going to be the slide. So let's call it slide, hit OK. Now let's attach a rectangle with the slide. So click on the rectangle mask, drag the rectangle over here, select the rectangle, and let's set the width value maybe 0.14. You can set the value according to you, and this is the height value. So let's increase the height, set the value 0.8. Here we have the corner radius, let's set the value 0.25. Now it's looking like this. You can drag and drop the slide to the viewer. Select the slide node, and here we have the color. Let's change this to white. Perfect. Now we have to create multiple copy of this rectangle. So select the rectangle, hit Ctrl C to copy, select the slide, hit Ctrl V to paste. And now let's move the second rectangle over here. You can set the center X value maybe 0.66. Now we have to paste one more. So hit Ctrl V. This is the second rectangle. Let's drag it on the left side, set the value 0.34. Now we have to create two more copy. So select the slide, hit Ctrl V to paste. Let's drag the rectangle over here, set the value 0.82. Now we have to paste one more, hit Ctrl V to paste. Select the rectangle and let's drag it on the left side, set the value 0.18. Now we have to change the position randomly. So select the second one and drag it up a little bit. For the better output, you can turn on the guide from here. So you can simply right click on the preview window, go to guide and turn on the guide. Now you can place the second rectangle over here and set the center Y value 0.55. Select the third one and drag it up. Set the value 0.55. After that, we have to animate this rectangle. So just go to on frame number 60, select the first rectangle, right click on center, click on animate, or you can also click on the diamond button to add a keyframe on the frame number 60, and do the same process for all the rectangle, just like that. And then go to on frame number 240, which is equal to 4 seconds according to 60 frames per second, and lock the rectangle position as it is. So let's start from here, select the first one, click on the diamond button to add a keyframe on the center, and do the same process for all. Perfect. Now just go to very first frame of this animation and drag all the rectangle outside of this frame in lower direction. So simply drag the rectangle outside of this frame, just like that. You can put the value maybe negative 0.5. Perfect. Just double click on this center Y value, right click on this and copy the value and put the same value for all the rectangle, just like that. And now we will get this type of animation. And then go to the end of this animation, select the rectangle, and this time we have to drag the rectangle outside of this frame in upper direction, just like that. So we have to set the center Y value maybe 1.5, copy the value and put the same center Y value 1.5 for all. Perfect. So we have the animation in and the animation out. Just go to the center of this animation on the frame number 150, which is equal to 2.5 seconds. And what we have to do, we have to move these rectangles a little bit. So just move the rectangle in upper direction, just like that, and do the same thing for all. Perfect. And now we have some movement between the animation, which is looking perfect. And after that, we have to create smooth animation. So it's very simple. Just go to the spline window, hit F4 on the keyboard to full screen. You can increase the size of the graph editor. Here we have to minimize all the nodes, just like that. and check the first rectangle, click on Fit button, highlight all the keyframes, hit S on the keyboard to smooth, or you can also click on this smooth button, and then hold this handle and create a nice smooth curve just like that. So it's very simple, as you can see. Perfect. And we have to do the same process for all the rectangles. So it's very simple. Just uncheck the first one, check the second one, and do the same process for all the rectangles. And then you can uncheck the last rectangle. Perfect. You can close this spline window. And now let's have a look. Alright, so it's looking nice, as you can see. Perfect. After that, we have to create time gap between each rectangles. So it's very simple again. Just go to this spline window, hit F4 on the keyboard to full screen. I want to create a time gap of 5 frames. So let's leave the first rectangle as it is. Check the second one. And here we have to move these 2 keyframes 5 frames forward in time, and these 2 keyframes 5 frames back in time. So it's very simple. Set the CDI at frame number 65, select both the keyframes and move it over here. Just go to on frame number 240, move the keyframes 5 frames back in time. So it should be 235 frames. Select both the keyframes and move it over here. And we have to do the same process for all the rectangles. So it's very simple. Just uncheck the rectangle, check the third rectangle. Just go to 5 frames back in time over here. Select both the keyframes and move it over here. Perfect. And then just go to on frame number 70. Select these 2 keyframes and move it 5 frames forward. Now let's do the same process for all the rectangles. Now it's done, and let's close this spline window. And now we have the time gap of 5 frames between each rectangle, and it's looking perfect, as you can see. After that, just select all the nodes, hit Ctrl G to create a group. Select the group, hit F2 on the keyboard. Let's call it slice. Hit OK. I'm going to use this slice as a matte, so we have to take a new merge node. I'm going to use this slice as a background and this output as a foreground. So connect the yellow background point with this slice and green foreground point with this output, and drag the merge 2 to the viewer. Alright, now let's arrange the node just like that. Perfect. Select the merge 2, and here we have to place the foreground inside of the background. So select the merge 2 and go to this inspector window, and here we have the operator. Let's change the operator over to in, and finally we will get this type of output. Now we have to do one more thing. Just select the slice, hit Ctrl C to copy, hit Ctrl V to paste. Let's rename it to stroke. So drag and drop the stroke to the viewer. Just double click on this group and open it up. Select the rectangle, and here we have to do some settings. So just open the rectangle, and we have to reduce the size of the rectangle. So here we have the width. Let's set the width value 0.13, height value 0.75. And we have to do one more thing. Just uncheck the solid box, and here we have to increase the border thickness. So set the value 0.003, and we will get this type of output. And we have to do the same thing for all the rectangles. So select the second one, open it up. Now you can close the group, and finally we have this type of output. And I'm going to use this output as an overlay. So we have to take a new merge node. I'm going to use this stroke as a foreground. So connect the green foreground point with this stroke and yellow background point with this merge 2 output, and drag this merge 3 to the viewer. Now select the merge 3, go to the inspector window, and here we have the apply mode. Let's select the overlay blending mode, and finally we will get this type of output, which is looking nice. And now let's merge both the output. So take a new merge node again, and I'm going to use this black and white output as a background and this output as a foreground. So connect the green point with this, drag the merge 4 to the viewer. Now we have to apply the drop shadow effect. So select the merge 3, hit Ctrl plus a space bar for search box and search for drop shadow. Hit add button, select the drop shadow, and we have to reduce the strength. So set the value 0.25 maybe. Perfect. And now we have to attach the text node. So this is the text node. Let's drag and drop the text node on this flow window, and we have to merge this text with the main output. So it's very simple. You only have to connect the output of the foreground with the background and we will get the new merge, and just drag the merge 5 to the viewer. Perfect. Select the text and type anything whatever you want. Perfect. You can increase the tracking amount a little bit, and you can select your favorite font style. So in this case I'm using the lemon milk font style. You can select any font style that you like. Let's decrease the size a little bit and just go to the setting tab, and here we have the appearance. So click on this text outline, and here we have the thickness of the outline. So set the thickness of the outline value 0.02. You can adjust the thickness according to you. Now select the text, go to the layout, and here we have the Z rotation. So let's rotate the text and set the angle value 90 degree and place the text according to you. So I'm going to place the text over here just like that, and let's blend the text with the background. So select the merge and go to the apply mode and change this to overlay. Perfect. Now let's animate the text, but before that select the text and just go to the text, and here we have the tracking. Let's reduce the tracking 1.16 maybe, or maybe 1.15. Perfect. Now just go to on frame number 90, which is equal to 1.5 second according to 60 frame per second. Just go to the layout, and here we have the center. So right click on center, click on animate, and go to 1 second back in time. That should be frame number 30, and drag the text outside of this frame. So this is the text in animation, and let's create text out. So just go to the frame number 210, right click on center, click on set key, go to 1 second forward in time. So it should be frame number 270 according to 60 frame per second, and let's drag the text outside of this frame. And this animation is linear right now, so we have to make it smoother. Just go to a spline window, hit F4 on the keyboard to full screen. This time we have to minimize all the nodes and uncheck all the nodes and check the text one only. Click on fit button, select all the keyframes, click on a smooth button, and do the same process. Just create a nice smooth curve just like that by using these handles. Perfect. Now you can see the smooth animation. Perfect. Now you can close this spline window. And finally we have to add one more text, which is the main text. So let's take one more text. Let's attach the text just like that, which is pretty simple to merge. And now let's drag and drop the merge 6 to the viewer. Select the second text and type anything whatever you want. Select your favorite font style. So in this case I'm using Brighton signature. You can use any font style that you like. Increase the scale of the text according to you. Place the text in the frame. You can turn off the guide. Perfect. And now we have to animate the text. So do the same thing. Just go to on frame number 90, select the text, go to the layout, right click on center, click on animate, go to on frame number 210, right click on center, click on set key, go to 60 frame forward in time, which is equal to 1 second, and drag the text outside of this frame over here. You can animate any way that you like, and then go to on frame number 30, which is equal to half a second, and drag the text outside of this frame in lower direction, just like that. So we will get this type of animation in and the animation out. Let's make it smoother. Just go to spline window, hit F4 on the keyboard. This time we need only text 2. So check the text 2, click on fit button, select all the keyframes, hit S to smooth. Just create a nice smooth curve by using these handles, just like that. And now you can close the spline window, click on fit button. After that, we have to attach the drop shadow effect after the text. So hit Ctrl plus spacebar for search box and search for drop shadow, hit add button. Let's attach the drop shadow just after this text 2. Select the drop shadow and you can reduce the shadow strength and set the value 0.25 maybe. Perfect. Let's attach the media out with this main output, and then you can go to the edit page, and here our animation is ready for render. Now let me show you how you can use any video clip instead of this image. So it's very simple. Just right click on this media pool, click on import media and import any video clip. So in this case, I'm going to use this video clip. Click on open, drag and drop the video clip on the timeline. So this animation is 5 seconds long, so you can select 5-second clip, add a cut over there, select the move tool and delete the extra part. Select the video clip, right click on that, click on new compound clip. You can call it anything, click on create and just remove the compound clip from the timeline. Select the fusion clip, hit Ctrl C to copy and hit Ctrl V to paste another fusion composition. Place the CDI over there and then go to the fusion page. And here you can simply delete the media node and go to the media pool, and here we have the compound clip. So let's drag and drop the compound clip on the flow window and attach the compound clip with the controller. Now select the controller, go to the end of this animation and you can adjust the scale and position of the video clip according to you. And finally, we will get the output. You can change the text as well. Just like that. And then go to the edit page. And now just turn on the loop button, go to very first frame of this animation. Hit Ctrl F to full screen and let's have a look. Alright, so that is it for now. I hope you like this video. If you have any question, drop a message on my Instagram or comment down below. If you are watching this video first time on this channel, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification for more interesting videos, and also hit the like button for this video. My name is Vikash and I will see you in the next one. Till then, bye bye.